So these are the two literary references, and the main question Pasolini considers in his movie is actually what truth is. And this is again a quotation in Italian of the key point of the film, and it's about what is truth, so qual è la verità. Considering different perspectives, so the perspective of what I think of myself, the perspective of what other people think of us, and the perspective of what I feel. So in the last sentence, in the last part of the quote, Iago replies, reality, the truth is something that you shouldn't name, because if you name it, it disappears. And of course, this is a reference to the nominalism and the relationship between things and words. And it's clear that Pasolini in this film has a deconstructive approach to reality and to language as a means to reach reality. Now, this is in the first part of the movie. The camera focuses on what is considered to be the poster of the show, of the play, and Pasolini is using Velázquez's Las Meninas to give us the interpreting key of the movie. As you know, in this painting, we change the relationship between the observer, the viewer, and from the traditional perspective, from the traditional point of view, and a new perspective which wants to include the viewer in the picture and somehow change the relationship between the person who sees and the object who is seen. So the question is, which perspective are we assuming? By choosing Velázquez's Las Meninas, the poster of his play, Pasolini is really inviting us to get into the picture and is showing the double level of representation, questioning exactly the represented reality and the representation of that reality. Now, in this case, we have the tragedies represented by the puppets, which are the characters. So Othello's, in this case, is not represented by actors, but as actors which are interpreted by some puppets, as we'll see in the picture. And also there is the other level is the deceptive perspective of the spectatorship situated in the cube of the theater with a frontal vision of the play. Now, this frontal vision as a one-way vision is questioned because as the traditional perspective, one single point of view. The classical view where the spectator is just the falsely privileged observer, the view which simulates the wrong conviction that we can control objects and meaning, especially through language. Now, referring to Marshall McLuhan's quote, a point of view can be a dangerous luxury when substituted for insight and understanding. And Pasolini's movie in this case is really paramount for this topic because most of the questions that have been raised in most of the movies of the last 30 years, which deconstruct reality, are present in this movie and show in this case that the point of view, the one point of view, the main point of view as a frontal perspective, is not the one that we have to assume when dealing with reality. Now, it's also quite significant for the idea of the representation of in the representation. So in this case, we have an adaptation of Shakespeare's Othello, and so we have the drama in the drama, Shakespeare's tragedy, but this time there is again a translation. So there is again another medium in this case, which is the puppet show. So instead, the reason for that will be explained in a moment. But Pasolini decides to use puppets to instead of actors. So I mean, the actors are there, but they are represented by puppets. And again, we have the drama in the cinema. So the other level is the adaptation of Shakespeare's Othello in Pasolini's film. Now, this is a clear example of mise en abîme, and the reason why it's significant here is that, well, this is the mise en abîme in most of these films, and I'm talking about films where reality is questioned, like The Truman Show, The Matrix, and most of these blockbusters, movies that have come out in the last 30 years about simulated reality or the illusion of reality,